Good morning, guys, or afternoon, or evening, or wherever you are in the world. Good day to you, too. So, we have got an absolute stormer of a video today. Stormer, and you know those days where you think, oh, what should I do? What should I put out? You know. Then Sarah comes up with the most insane video, and I've got to talk about it. Everybody's talking about it. I've got to talk about it, and I'm going to talk about it because it was insane. So please watch through, because you're not going to believe the things that she said. It was incredible. So without further ado, I'm going to get right into it because we've got a lot to get through because she went on and on and on, but it is all worth it, trust me.
Okay, the first question is something vlogging has taught you. I thought this was a really cool question, actually. I don't think we've ever had this question before. Maybe we have, I don't know. But something vlogging has taught me. One of the biggest things that not only has vlogging taught me, but also taught friends and family and people who are close to me, not necessarily close to me before vlogging, but have become close to me during the time we vlogged. So old friends, new friends that we've made, they all say the same thing. It's like one of the first things they say to me, and that is how ugly the world can be. Like, how crazy the world can be and how ugly and nasty it can be. And I was so ignorant, and I wish I was still ignorant to some of those things. As social media over the last 10 or so years has grown, so has so much nastiness and so much bitterness and anger towards strangers. Just anger. And I'm not just talking from personal experience, I'm talking in general. There's so many bitter, negative, nasty people out there who genuinely want to dedicate their lives to making other people feel bad, and I never knew people like that existed.
That's because before a few years ago you put on a facade for the vlogs, Sarah. You pretended to be someone that you weren't, and you were. Now the nastiness and the bitterness is coming out in you. That is how it has transpired. Sorry.
Like, it's something that I say all the time, like, what on earth? And it's something that my friends say. So new friends, old friends, in fact, even more so new friends.
That's because you've lost all your old friends. Now, you say that we don't know much about your life, right? But I like to think that we do know a little bit, and I challenge you to name one single friend that you have had back then that you still have now, because we happen to know that your very best friend of all time that you've been friends with since school, you fucked them off because you wanted them to treat people like shit on your behalf, and you treated them like shit. You know, it's a whole story, everybody knows it. But if that person's not your friend anymore, then I struggle to think of anybody that actually would still be your friend now.
That I make, they're like, whoa, the world is so crazy. Like, I never knew this existed.
Especially the YouTube friends.
Yeah, other YouTube friends, but other YouTube friends definitely. But I'm talking like even like our neighbourhood friends from here. They're all like, wow, this world is crazy. So it really has taught me that, and it's something that I never knew existed. I was ignorant to it. I knew people were bitter and nasty, but not to this extent. And like I said, it's not just personal to me, it's just in general. We have obviously experienced it, but I am talking about just in general as well. And that's definitely something that vlogging and sharing our lives online has taught me. The next question is, would you guys ever do a meet and greet?
Oh, please, Sarah, please say yes, please. I am so desperate to meet you guys. I've been watching you guys for so many years and so long. I am so desperate to meet you. Love you so much, Sarah.
So we have done meet and greets in the past, and we'd love to do meet and greets in the future. This is actually a question that pops up all the time on our personalised video messages. So I feel like I've answered this loads of times, but I haven't actually answered it on publicly like this. So we would love to do more meet and greets in the future. Unfortunately, it's not as easy as just, thanks babe. Thank you. I've got a cup of tea. Oh yes, in my warm, cosy mug. It's not just as easy as just coffee. just like saying, oh, we're going to do meet and greet here. Hope to see you all there. There is a lot that goes into meet and greet, security and safety wise, for you and us.
Absolutely, Sarah. The first thing that you need to do before even thinking of doing a meet and greet is to get yourself some management, because when you did your meet and greets back in the day, you always had management to take care of it. They took care of security and the arrangements and organisation, and it was professionally done. What happened to your management, I wonder? This is why you get into so much trouble yourselves anyway, is because you always try to do things yourself. You think that you can do everything yourself and you need some guidance. In fact, I would put myself forward to become your manager. As much as I go on about you a lot and stuff like that, I really think that I have your best interests at heart, and if I could just have an in, I would definitely set you straight on a few things, if you would just allow me to do so.
So it does take a lot to organise. The only meet and greet that we do have in place at the moment is the one with our Mila reborn doll, which we're hoping and planning around happening in March next year, so in about 3-4 months time. There is still some Mila dolls available if you're looking for that last minute Christmas gift. It's basically a collaboration, if you don't know, that we did with the amazing Mary Shortall.
Mary Shortall is amazing. She loves me. Well, that's Victoria. Vicky. Don't you love me, Vicky? That's right. Rumour has it she shivers at the very name of Dougal. Shivers. I'm only joking. But I do have inside sources which tell me that she's not overly keen on myself. But when you say, Sarah, that there are some Mila dolls available, if I remember rightly, they were made to order. So yes, they are still available because you can make up as many as you want. That's how it works.
We became extremely good friends with her and her whole wonderful family in 2017 when I bought Esme her first reborn doll. That vlog actually is our biggest earner at this time of year. Still now.
Every year,
yeah.
At this time of year.
Every Christmas, like our money just, I mean, everyone's does on YouTube just because the way YouTube works and the way you get paid and the way ads work on videos. Not a lot of people know this, but basically you get paid by the adverts at the start of the videos. You don't control the adverts at the start of the videos. This is going off on one and totally not related to the question, but just in case anyone's interested. You don't place the ads on the videos, you don't select how many ads go on the videos, you literally just click a button that says you allow your channel to be monetized, which means you allow companies to put adverts, YouTube to put adverts on your videos. That's all you do. You upload your video and you click, yes, I'm happy for the adverts to be on it.
Sarah, you said that not many people know this, so fortunately for you, I'm one of the few people who you are talking to who does know this, and I'm just going to share my own personal knowledge because I'm not sure if you're intentionally being obtuse about this. I don't actually think you are. I think because Chris is the one that does it, I genuinely think that you don't know how it works. You just think, oh, I just press the button to say I'm happy to receive money off this video. No, that's not how it works. Maybe back in the day when you used to be in full control, maybe that's how it worked, I don't know. But ask Chris how it works before you spout or sprout your nonsense. So basically you can choose whether to click yes or no or want it to be monetized. That is true. You can also choose the ads, the type of ads you want. You can choose whether you want a pre-roll, mid-roll, or post-roll ads, which are the middle of your videos and at the end, and the type of ads that you want. So those are your options, but also this. And this is how it works with ads. So YouTube automatically place relevant ads at where they think is relevant positions within the video. So as you can see, I've got 2 mid-roll ads here on this one particular video, placed here after 3 and 9 minutes. Right, and that's it. You can, however, place more ads should you so wish. So if I wanted to place one here, I'd click on here and I put an ad there. So there's another ad there. If I wanted another one here, I would do the same there, and then I could do this there and that there, and I could basically put as many ads in as I want to place, right? So that's how it works with ads. You can in fact place as many ads when you want, where you want on your videos. So I know that probably only myself and Sarah would be interested in all that, but I just like to throw in my own knowledge because not everybody has the information there. So maybe you could be interested. I don't know. Anyway, let's get on with this because there's so much to get through.
And you get paid for those adverts. At this time of year, people... We vlog daily anyway, but people who don't vlog daily start to vlog daily because their money just goes a lot higher than at any other time of the year, because obviously adverts are trying to sell more at this time of year. So you get more adverts, but you also get paid more per advert. Totally forgot where I was going with this one, but my point is that all of our Christmas videos from all of the years go crazy at this time of year. So not just like this year's Vlogmas, it's like Vlogmas from the last 7 years that people are watching every single day over and over and over again, and Christmas days from all the years, which
so yeah, I thought I'd have a look into this actually because it interested me, and I looked at the one she's talking about, the 2016 Christmas Day vlog, which got them, I have no idea how much it earned them, but a fortune, right? And it's currently sat on 64 million views. And when I first watched that vlog, I remember specifically it was like the first one, as a lot of people, it was one of the first videos, or probably the first vlog that I ever watched of theirs. And I remember it was sat on 61 million at the time, and that was about 4 years ago. So in the last 4 years they've made an extra 3 million views off that one vlog, which isn't too bad. I think, you know, if you're looking not quite 1 million views every year, and you know, that's a quite a nice extra earner. She is not wrong.
I can't even remember what the point was about it, but yeah, that vlog anyway got mega views, and that's why we became friends with Victoria, and we still have some baby reborn. It's like a collaboration with Victoria for the baby Mila doll. So yeah, if you are interested, I'll leave a link in the description box down below. And I know Victoria does payment plans and things. We are getting quite close to Christmas now, so I'm not sure when her cutoff is, but I'll leave a link to her website and our beautiful baby Mila doll, and I think we might actually have 1 or 2 Prinnies left. Yeah, because we got an extra stock. Because we got an extra stock of Prinny, and I think they all sold out. But I think she recently said I found like an extra 2. 1 or 2 Prinnies.
The meet and greet event is going to be amazing.
March, yeah, it's going to be. Yeah.
Anyone that's interested in that, it is going to be so good.
It is, yeah, it's going to be great. We had one in March 2000. No, it wasn't March. Yeah, it was March 2020.
That's right, who could forget? That was so good. I covered it end to end. It was phenomenal. But it also marked the start of the pandemic, and you decided to have a meet and greet at that particular time when people were, you know, worrying about catching things, you know what I mean? And then you buggered off to the Maldives immediately after that during this time, and you got so much hate, and rightly so.
Last 2020, that was the last one we did, and it was really fun. I'll leave a link anyway down below for anyone that's interested. Is anybody else a slurper? I'm so bad at it. So bad. In fact, Chris laughs at how I drink. He laughs at how I drink, and I didn't even know I did it before I got with Chris, but I literally go.
Okay, so I just decided to stop it at this point because, for the pure reason that this is just, there was no reason, I just wanted to see this. Sarah, the gift that keeps on giving.
Have the girls, oh hello Mila. Hello, my little chubby. What, Daddy didn't do a good job of looking after you, did he? Oh, he's here, look. There you go. Have the girls ever expressed an interest in wanting to go back to school? No, they haven't. Isabel has with college. There's a lot of questions about Isabel and schooling. We'll get to those in a bit. Isabel wants to go to college. Esme, I can 100% guarantee pretty much. I mean, she could change, but I would bet anything on her never going back to school. She's not an academic type of girl. Some people love academics and they're amazing at maths and English and science and things. Some people don't love them, but they're still really good at them. And some people really just don't like the typical academic type studies. And they try really hard, and they have to try really hard to get, you know, to get that grade. And Esme falls in that bracket. She really tries, and she does really try. She's so good with homeschooling. She's got tutors. We've actually just enrolled them recently in a new online class thing. I'm not going to go into too much detail about that, but they do have tutors, and we have just enrolled them into a new schooling program.
Question is, was that by choice or by force? That's the question, because we all know how you are more than likely to have had contact with the LEA, and it's a good possibility they may have gently nudged you in that direction, don't you think, Sarah?
And she does really well, and she does her maths and her English. She's working on, what was she doing with Chris the other day? She's working on, oh my gosh, I can't even think of the word. What's that maths thing that everyone hates? Algebra.
That's quite a sweeping statement, Sarah. Not everybody hates algebra. I don't hate it. But I take your point. Nice that you couldn't remember what it was called, given that you are teaching her so fervently.
Algebra. So she is, obviously she would be in year 9 at school, so she's doing work at year 9. All of her classes are on year 9, and what my girls do basically is what they would be doing if they were in school. There's loads of different homeschooling options. You don't have to do that. You don't need to. I like to, because I like to know that my girls are doing what everyone else their age is doing. So that's just my personal preference.
Well, if that's your personal preference, Sarah, you'll be glad to know that Esme, being in year 9, should be choosing her options, or would have been choosing her options at school. So have you had the discussion yet whether or not she's to take whatever in her GCSEs next year, which start next year? She starts on the GCSE courses next year. You said yourself she is struggling so much, and I'm not having a go at her for trying. If she is really trying her hardest, then brilliant. That's all that you can ask, seriously. But you really do need to have some sort of conversation to start her on her way to studying for her GCSEs, which start next year.
So she's doing year 9 work and she's doing amazing at that as well. But I just know that she would not do as well in school because she did struggle a little bit when she was at school.
I'm not being funny, Sarah, but wasn't that something to do with the, I don't know, the dyslexia that she has at the moment? Well, not at the moment, she has, right? Isn't that not the reason why she was struggling so much? So how was that going again, Sarah? Did you get her tested at all? This was, 3 years ago, was it, that you were declaring that she was dyslexic and couldn't grasp things at school? And yet she cured now, is she? Now that she's at home with Professor Sarah Ingham.
And not only did she struggle with like the academic side, but she struggled with her confidence. There was like a knock-on effect from her struggling academically with like her confidence, and then having to feel like she needs to keep up with peers. And I don't know, I just feel like she would do so much better at home. And I know that every time if I've brought up, do you ever fancy going back to school? She's literally had a meltdown. Like, she is not gonna want to go back to school. And then Isla, I'm not too sure. Because it's always me that brings it up, like, are you sure you don't want to go back to school? Because I always have mum guilt about stupid things that I shouldn't have mum guilt about, but people on here question me and question things, and then it puts the seeds in my head like, oh my gosh, really? Is that right? And I know it's not, but sometimes when I do get into a low moment thinking about that, I do like ask the girls, and they always say no. Isla's never she's never no way, I'm never going back to school. She's always like, well, maybe I will, but I don't really want to right now. That's always what Isla has replied. Esme's always like,
you know what, Sarah? You should feel mum guilt. You really, really should. It's not, that it really makes me sad, just what you've just said, because this tallies up with Isabel. This tallies up with Isla's attitude to dropping out of school or leaving school, right? You remember at the time when Isla was going to leave, or you had the big discussion with all your girls whether or not they wanted to leave. Isabel was being bullied, so she wanted to leave. Esme was struggling academically, she wanted to leave. Isla was asked, she said, in your words, Sarah, I don't really mind, whatever. And that was because if she had been the one to say, no, I want to stay in school, she would have fucked up every single plan that you had for your life. You wouldn't have been able to go travelling freely. She knows that. Even at the age of 8, when you gave her the ultimate choice whether or not she wanted to go to school, how many 8-year-olds do you know that would actually say, yeah, Mum, I want to go to school every day? Yeah. No, you gave her the choice at 8 years old whether or not she wanted to go to school, and the only reason she decided ultimately not to was to appease you and your family. She didn't want to be left out. And that is the most ridiculous reason for anybody not to want to go to school. I mean, it wasn't ridiculous because she was only 8, okay? But what you've just said there, Sarah, the other two are very strong in their opinions. Isabel, you said, wants to go to college next year. She wanted a year out this year. Esme would hate to go back to school, and that's fine, okay, as long as she's getting the best education for her right now. Isla, however, her opinions are, I might want to go, not right now. And the reason is because, again, she doesn't want to upset the apple cart. And by the apple cart, I mean the horse and cart, the Sarah. I don't know what I'm trying to say. Anyway, you are the reason she doesn't want to go back to school. She doesn't want to say. She does not want to say that she wants to go back because, again, it's going to upset the entire lifestyle that you lead, and she doesn't want to be the only one that does that. If everybody else said, yeah, I'm going back, she would 100% say yes. And I don't care if you don't think that that's true, or you think you know the best for your kids. Just by you having asked her and received that response, that should send off alarm bells in your head about what she actually wants. Think about it, Sarah. You know what she wants. Look at her, ask her, think about it, and just do it. Take the decision out of her hands, because you know that she is the most academically gifted out of all of them, and she would thrive with school, and she would thrive around people of her own age. You know that. Just take the choice out of her own hands, please.
No. Isabel's like, yeah, I definitely want to go to college in September. And Isla's always like, I quite think that I might like to go back to school, but I just don't want to right now. So maybe Isla will. I don't know. That will be up to them. Just staying on that subject, there's quite a lot of questions about Jace and Jace going to preschool or school or nursery, etc, etc, and asking if he's ever asked to go. He's never asked to go because we homeschool, so he's too young to know that even school's like a thing. He does have a couple of friends here in I never know what to call where we live, because it's not a town and it's not a village, and in the area that we live in, basically. Hamlet. In the hamlet. I don't feel weird calling it Hamlet. Anyway, who do go to school, and he understands that they go to school, but he's never asked to go to school. And I honestly, I don't know how do you think Jace would be at nursery?
Well, I personally hope that he'd learn social skills and learn about being around others, sharing. You can tell that he's not used to sharing, you know, but just learn social skills, and that's what happens at these places, right? I know you reckon that he has friends in and around the fuck. Sorry, Saudi Arabia just scored. Anyway, you just have friends around the area, and I've lost my train of thought now. You think that he has friends in and around the hamlet, but it's not. You know, it's not the same thing. He's not spending hours a day with these people, with these children, and learning and playing and learning and playing. You know what I mean?
Because we're such a close family, and all he's ever known is us all together every day.
He's also a lockdown baby as well, so that's, again, extended on that.
We were all always together. It's all he's ever known.
See, I'm not sure if you're saying this as a good thing or a bad thing here, because most people would say that all your child has ever known is you as a family. That would be a bad thing, right? But I'm not sure with you. It's like maybe you're thinking that it's a good thing and it's a lovely thing because we're such a close-knit family and everything like that. But no, just being with his siblings and his parents in a tiny van, that's not necessarily the best thing for him.
So I feel like just being like, you know, you're going to school now and you're going to be there on your own all day long. I don't know how we'd do with that. We haven't actually made a final decision on whether Jace will or won't go to school.
I'm going to give you a piece of free advice here. And, you know, I'm quite a generous person. So, yeah, I'm going to give you some free advice. And that is, you know, Jace is only 3, right? And he's going to school soon. Well, may not be going to school soon. It's up to you. You don't know, right? But, you know, most children his age also have the same worries about going to school. They're away from their parents for the first time, essentially, and stuff like that. It's a normal thing for a child to have to go through. Incredibly, your child is not unique in that aspect. I know you think that everything revolves around the Ingham brand, but it's not true. Your child will have separation anxiety, perhaps. They may be scared, they may be worried, but all these are natural reactions and natural emotions that every child faces as they get to that age where they finally have to say goodbye to their parents for the first time.
Right now we're just playing it by ear and seeing how things go, but yeah, I don't know, it makes me feel weird, and I don't know how he'd cope with that. So we've not really made a decision, basically, on Jason Mila. My legs are broken, so I've had to sit down a bit and move the camera. What made you change to reusable products? I've always wanted to use reusable nappies, especially. I did a vlog about it when I was pregnant with Jace. And in all honesty, I was too scared. Like, I'm not gonna lie. It seemed really, really daunting to change to reusable products. And the startup cost as well was always a little bit, I don't know if I can justify like that cost when what if it doesn't work? And it just made me a little bit nervous, and so I always put off doing it. And then with Mila, I was just determined, like I really wanted to do it. Not only for, it wasn't even for the cost, because by the time I started with Mila, I've definitely spent more on reusable products than what I would have done if I'd have just kept buying Aldi nappies. So it's not about the cost for me personally, but obviously I've got 5 children now, and just the way that the world's going and like landfill and things like that, I was feeling like, oh my gosh, do we do enough? Like, are we recycling enough? And look at all these nappies every day, and I don't know, I just...
Oh my word. Right. Where do I start with this? The Ingham brand, do they do enough to help with the environment? Sarah Ingham wants to know. I just think that maybe you don't. In fact, you are the sole causes of about 85% of the Earth's problems. And I'm not even exaggerating, Sarah. The amount of crap that you have contributed personally to landfill, to the environment, the everything that has gone wrong in the world is mostly down to you. And that is not before, rather that's before we even get onto the sheen hauls. The amount of sheen hauls that you do. Do you have any idea how bad that is for the environment? Oh, and then we have your lovely Baby and Me products, the blankies. Do you know how much of a carbon footprint that causes? You haven't got a clue. You don't care, because all it matters to you is that it brings in money. And everything is down to money eventually to you. That is it.
It made me feel better about myself, knowing that we were doing something, a little bit, to help the planet, I guess. And changing to reusable nappies, reusable sanitary products. Reusable sanitary products are like so much more comfortable, in my opinion. So me and Isabel just absolutely love using reusable sanitary products. And then actually I ordered a pack for Esme as well for when she needs them. She doesn't yet, but for when she does.
Sarah, remember when we talk about things like oversharing with your kids and everything like that? Why do you put this out there about, I mean, Isabel, she's 17. Maybe she says it's fine now. But Esme's only 13. Nobody needs to know anything about what she does and doesn't do. Nothing. Nobody needs to know, because she's only 13.
Because she's also said she wanted to use those as well. And I just find them more hygienic and nicer to use So that's that. And then reusable baby wipes, I use 90% of the time. I don't tend to use them when we're out and about, but I do use them when we're at home. And finally, reusable makeup removers I find kinder to your skin. I do sometimes still use the pads. Like, I'm not super strict on it, but I just, when I can, I like to. And it's basically just for those reasons, really. Just landfill, and makes you feel a bit better about yourself.
And that's what it's all about, right, Sarah? That is the ultimate. It makes you feel better about yourself. Nothing at all to do with helping the environment, is it? Everything comes down to Sarah Ingham.
Someone's asked how many countries in total have we visited? Would you know the answer to that, babe?
In total?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, we're gonna add them up right now. Okay, Chris just did a little count up and we got to 29. That was just a quick off the top of our heads.
Yeah,
I bet we forgot a couple there.
29.
29, but not only, that's like 29 separate countries, but then we've been to multiple places in each country. So for example, America, we've been to New York, Florida, and then like...
Oh, Sarah. You've been to so many different places in America. You've been to New York, and you've been to Florida, and that's it, isn't it? You love America so much. You've been to New York once, right? Just once. And the only other place you've ever been to in America is Florida. That's it. Because you love Disney. It's not that you don't like... it's not that you don't like... It's not that you like America so much. It's you love Florida so much. That is it.
Spain, we've been to multiple places in Spain. Egypt, been to multiple places there. But about 29 different countries, I think. Definitely 29. There might be a few more that we forgot at the top of our head. Are you looking on the map now? No. So I think we've been to around 29 countries.
Hey, you know what you should do, Sarah? Here's an excellent idea. If you really want to know how many different countries you've been to see, you should look at that little wristband that you got, the bracelet thing. Remember the bracelet thing with all the trinkets which told, you collect them every time you go to a different country. You get a new little thing. It says the country name on it, and you put it on like a little charms, right? You should look at that. It'll tell you. Or did you forget you even had that? You were so excited about getting that. And for the girls, they were all so excited. It was something that you could all do, and you could collect these things, and it would remind you of everything, of every country that you've ever been to. Not once did you use it. Not once.
Leading on from countries, someone's asked when we'll be going back to America. There's restrictions, unfortunately, in America right now, so we aren't able to go. But it is one place.
To their credit, they're no longer denying that the reason is because of the vaccinations. So good on them.
That I am desperate to get back to. We've got friends in America who we speak to all the time. Who have been, how long have they been begging us to go stay with them?
Oh, so long. Years, absolutely.
I think since I was going to say about 4 years. So
you have friends in America, really? So if they've been begging you to go back for 4 years, that was around the time that Chris had his little thing going on in America, in Florida, that time. Do you remember that time? Yeah, it was around that time. And the last time you went to Florida, you went to see your friends, fellow YouTubers, KK and Baby J. Do you remember those? Do you remember when you met those? That was lovely, wasn't it? Is it those that are begging you to go back? Apparently they're having a lot of dramas themselves these days, so you probably have a lot in common. They probably are not judgmental over your lifestyle. Or it could be the ones that you met at Disney that time and you spent a lot of time with them there. Those ones, the ones that tried to cover for Chris. Idiots tried to cover for Chris. Chris never sent any text messages. Chris never did it. This particular clip here shows that Chris was in fact texting whilst at Disney on that same trip.
That's the first thing we'll be doing as soon as we are able to visit America. We also, of course, want to take Jace back to, not Jace back to, we want to take Jace to Florida and to Disney World. We can't wait to do that. The girls are desperate to go back as well. And I really want to go.
Route 66.
Chris is desperate to do Route 66, which is a dream that we've had since we got together, actually. So it'll be so amazing when we get to do that. And then I really want to go back to New York as well, and Isabel really wants to go back to New York. So America will be the I think we'll spend like a whole year doing America as soon as we're able to.
Well, I don't get that really, because you've never been unable to, and yet you didn't do any of these things when you were able to. So why are you so desperate to do them now? Back in the day, you just went to Florida and that's it. You went to Disney and that's it. I think it would be lovely if Jace got to experience Disney in Florida. And for the record, because I know that lots of people will be saying that Chris can't go back to Florida, but there's no reason for him not to be able to go back to Florida. He can go if he wants to go. I think it'll be funny if he tries. The amount of people that will report him, it'll be funny. But I just think that there's no reason why he can't go back. The only reason they haven't gone back so far is the restrictions, apparently, right now. But mainly the money thing, because it's going to cost them thousands upon thousands of pounds, and they don't have that sort of money.
Because there's just so many places in America that we want to go. This is a question that's popped up a little bit over 7 years, actually, that we've been vlogging. Do you ever feel the constant filming may have a negative effect on your children's mental health? No, I don't feel like it will, mainly because if you think about our vlogs, yeah, if you think about our vlogs, it's 90% of the time me. It's 90% of, in fact, I've heard trolls in the past, and I've actually definitely received messages in the past saying it might as well just be called the Sarah Ingham channel because it's only you on there. And that's true. It is mainly me on this channel, and I do mainly take charge of this channel because I feel like it's her.
On our main channel.
Oh, sorry, yeah, I'm not even on. Yeah, sorry, I'm on Sarah Stage on our main channel. Sorry, the Ingham family, because it was me that set up the channel, and it's what I would class as my job. So this is my job. It's my job to film every day. It's not Isabel's and Esme's and Isla's job to film every day. It's their job to do their schoolwork. So I don't feel like it's something that I should have to let them take responsibility for. Like, it's my responsibility to do this. I chose to do this job.
Sarah, now this is where you fall down dramatically and have somehow managed to get my back up immeasurably, right? So in your little warped brain, over the last 4 years, 5, 6, 7 years, in fact, you've been vlogging, you started the channel. That we can agree on, because you're the one that put all your kids in filming them in the bath and in bathing suits and filming them naked and stuff like that. You were the first one to do that, not Chris. Not many people know that, so let that be a lesson. Now, in your head, you're saying that this is your job. This is your job. You chose to do it. It's not the kids' job to do anything. No, they have no reason to be on this channel. Absolutely none whatsoever. Your job is to film your kids. They just happen to be there. God for... I'm not even quite sure what to say to this. I know what the answer is, but my brain is exploding with unbelievableness. Now, I know you've watched my videos over the course of the last few years, Sarah. I know this for a fact. I know because you mention it. I know Chris watches my videos. I know this because he not only mentions it, but he puts little hidden things in his videos to say hello Dougal and stuff like that, you know. So why don't you listen? Why don't you understand how it is your children who are making the money for you? Your job is... Okay, so we can possibly relate your job, which is to film your kids, to that of maybe a talent agent. Your job is to make money from your kids. That is your job. Can we agree on that one at all?
And the girls are in the vlogs because obviously they're part of what we do. They're part of the family. But if they don't want to be in the vlogs, and there's loads of times in it, the girls are like, can we not film? Can you not film this? And we don't. We just don't film it. 99% of the time, though, the girls want to film. They're like, can we film this today? Or, Mom, like I'll say, can you film my outfit if I go get dressed?
Sarah, no. You're making me cry. Sarah, please, for the love of all that is good and holy, how can you be this dense? Informed consent. Do you understand what the words mean? Informed consent means that the people who are being filmed, namely your children, need to understand, need to be informed, understand the consequences of being filmed. Do you tell your children that this that is online right now is going to be there forever, could impact upon everything that they ever do for the rest of their lives, and not in a good way, right? Don't spin it, say, oh my god, Isla, you could be famous online for being a model and you're gonna get so many contracts and you know, all this, right? That's not the type of thing we're talking about. We're talking about, you may not be able to get a job. You may say something which is inappropriate. You may be filmed naked. You may be filmed in your bathtub. You may be filmed in an embarrassing, compromising situation that will later on in life, you might not want to be online. And what happens is that it doesn't matter what you feel in later in life, because once it's filmed and it's there forever. And it could possibly, have you told them this, right? When you say to your kids, oh, Esme, I want to film you in your swimwear today because it'll be a good shot for the vlog. And they say, yeah, okay, mummy, yeah, I'll do that for you. That'll be fine, no problem at all. I don't mind. I love being filmed in my swimwear. It's great. But do you tell them then that, oh, but wait a second, if you do that, this clip may end up on the dark web and it could be used as material for every creep out there online. Do you tell them that? Because that is the absolute truth, and it's not something that can be glossed over, to be honest. And that is what informed consent is all about, Sarah. It's not about saying, oh well, my kids, they just love to be filmed, they just love it, I'm gonna give them the choice, I'm going to let them decide for themselves. So what do you think about that, Sarah? Any thoughts whatsoever? Anything tinkering about in that little membrane of yours?
Or Esme says, will you come up to a bedroom today, because I really want to show this on the camera. So I feel like actually it has a positive effect on them. It gives them confidence, and
it has given them confidence.
It has given them
Yeah,
it has. I mean, only we know our children and we know the boundaries, and I know that lots of you guys feel like you know us and you're part of our family and you're our friends, and that's really, really lovely. But in reality, only we really know our children, and so it's really difficult sometimes when people give opinions on some things that are just so far from the truth.
You're talking about me at all, Sarah? I don't mind. I really don't mind. People who give their opinions are so far from the truth. Well, if you take one look at this, right, the eagle-eyed among you may have noticed a certain thing that's been scrolling across the screen for the entirety of this video, and there's been a reason for it, right? And it's because of this. This, Sarah, you'll notice from the scrolling thumbnails, and these are just thumbnails, mind you, these are not the actual contents of the vlogs. You've got all the times that you've pimped out your children to the world, all the times that you have put them out there for everybody to see, all the creeps in the world to take the thumbnails and do whatever they want with it. And you've also given them a starting point as to where to find your kids in their bathing suits, where to find your kids in their bikinis, where to find your kids in the bath. And then, notwithstanding that, but you've given them, well, you've given us all an idea of how much you abuse your kids, with all the my kid is hurt, Esme's hurt, Isla's crying, Isla's sick, Isabel's ill, Isabel's off school, Isabel's doing this, Esme's got a bee in her toe. It's just everything, you know what I mean? It's the sort of thing that I'm talking about. This is your job. This is the job that you so proclaim, that you work so hard to do, and your kids, they don't work at all. This is not their job. This is not their job. But look at the job that they are not doing. Does this even register in your brain at all? Honestly, I try to put my point across to you, Sarah, in the nicest possible way, but when it comes to this, I struggle to actually give you a calm response, because it's just so frustrating that you genuinely think that your kids are not the main breadwinners of your family. It's unbelievable to me. Yes, you may be sat there yapping on to, about nothing. Nobody turns on to watch you. Honestly, seriously, nobody switches on to watch what you are saying. Seriously. The best performing videos that you have on your channel, you said it before, are your kids being sold out at Christmas. You said it. Well, you didn't say it in those particular words, but your kids have had their Christmas sold, and those are the best ones. The next best ones are things like your kids in their bikinis at water parks, pool parties, and the infamous pool party in which you pimped out all your kids and all your friends' kids too. That's still there. I can't believe it's still up there, but it's still there. No matter how many times we tell you that it's wrong, it's still there. So your kids, they don't work for the money. I'm just lost.
And I feel like if we were doing like forced things every day, so for example, I feel like if we were forcing or we were expecting the girls to do challenges every day, or we have to do a challenge today, girls, because we have to vlog it, that's different. Or you have to do this skit today with us because we need to vlog something.
Yeah, I agree.
Then that would be different. That's giving them a responsibility that they don't really need.
Well, Sarah, as I mentioned before in quite detail, you have been given your kids responsibility. They have had all the responsibility, and in fact, you talk about responsibility, but Isabel in particular has had the weight of responsibility of your entire channel, your entire mortgage, the bills and everything. She, as the oldest, has known about all this for so many years, and it's been her responsibility to carry the channel. No wonder she got a little bit, she's not, she's given up on the vlog, I think, now. So there's that. But you talk about responsibility as well. You openly say that you hate people, and you tell your kids all the hate comments, and that is giving them a huge responsibility. You used to tell your kids how you had stalkers around the house, and it was so bad that Isla eventually had a breakdown, and she would sit at the bottom of the stairs waiting for you to come home every night because she was too scared. And that's because of all the stalkers and the intruders that you allegedly had during your vlogs. You just really don't get it, do you?
And that's never been our channel.
But that's never been our... Oh my gosh.
I'm so sorry.
That's never been our channel. We never ever expect or force the girls to film anything. I take charge and I just film what we're doing, and that's it. And that's no different to when we didn't vlog. So when we didn't vlog, we were known as a family that filmed everything, because I want the memories growing up.
And then you discovered you could get paid for doing exactly that. So you did. You could actually vlog your daily lives. You could still do it for the memories, but, keep them just for you, as most people do. That is a normal person thing to do. But, vlogging, or flogging as it's called, your kids is not the right thing to do. Search deep inside yourself, Sarah. You know.
And the girls love watching back the memories as well. So I do understand how some people might think that vlogging or filming for YouTube every day could have a negative effect on a child's mental health.
The reason it will have a negative effect on a child's mental health is purely because everything you put out there about them, they can't take back. You put so much out there about them. The reason Isabel left school when she decided she wanted to homeschool, and you've said this yourself, is because of bullying at school. She was being bullied, and the reason she's been bullied is probably twofold. One is because of her stepdad doing what he did, and the second one is because every weekend you would film so much shit about Isabel. You would reveal so much shit about Isabel. She would then go in on a Monday morning to school, and her peers would be like, my God, I saw you on the vlog and it was fucking funny. Did you see what you did? Did you see what your mum did to you? That was so, you're an idiot. That sort of thing happened. I guarantee it, because kids will be kids, and that's what they do. And you, Sarah, as her mother, did not protect her at all, and you're still not protecting her, and that is contradictory to what you're saying right now. The vlogging 100% had an effect on your kids' mental health.
But the way we do it, in my opinion, I'm no expert, but I know my children, I don't think it would have a negative effect on their mental health. If I did see it start having a negative effect on their mental health, then I would suggest they took a step back.
You're the one that's doing it to them, though. You, Sarah, you are. You dedicated an entire vlog one time to Isla and her mental health. The fact she developed OCD, the fact that she was so depressed and so anxious and everything else. You did it. And you even put it out there to the world that was how she was feeling. That is ridiculous. Everything that has happened to your kids is you putting the information out in the public domain about them. It's nothing to do with what they're doing, or they should take a step back. Because how are they taking a step back from the things that you're telling the world? Even if they did not appear on the vlogs, you would still talk about things. Like, even in this vlog, Esme has previously said that she does not want to talk about her periods and stuff, right? But you took it upon yourself to talk about the reusable stuff, and that you had bought some for her. And, you know, even though she's not appearing in this vlog, you're still talking about private information about her. That being the point. That is the point.
An example of that is Isabel. She went through about 2 years of receiving messages. She didn't see them for 2 years because I stopped her going in them, saying how much weight she'd gained, how fat she was. Whoa, you've gained so much weight. Are you still healthy? How much do you eat? Blah, blah, blah. She went for about 1.5 years, 2 years of that. Do you remember after Jace was born?
Yeah, of course.
And it was horrendous, and that started to affect her. And so I had to control her Instagram inbox. And she asked me to take over her comments for a while because she couldn't face them anymore.
Am I actually hearing what you're actually saying here, Sarah? You have just admitted that it got so bad, the hate on her comments and her inbox was so bad that you had to take her away from it for 2 years because her mental health suffered. Despite you just saying a second ago that mental health has not suffered for any of your kids. But anyway, you're just saying that her mental health suffered for 2 years, so you took her off her Instagram. So why am I now seeing that she is on her Instagram? Why am I seeing her posting all the time? If that had happened, right, and I don't doubt it did, by the way, if you honestly thought that your child was suffering with their mental health due to reading hate comments about them, why in God's name would you put them back into that situation where you know it's going to happen? What, because you think that she's now equipped to deal with hate comments? Why should she have to deal with hate comments? Why should she have to?
And so she kind of took a step back. So we do deal with things when we feel like it might be affecting them negatively. It's not like we just ignore it and crack on. We do deal with things behind the camera. We don't vlog about it because it's not relevant to the vlog. It's not going to bring anything to the vlog, and it's not really... It's a personal issue, so it's not something we want to vlog about.
I'm sorry, did you just say that you don't vlog about personal issues? Did you? Is that something that you just said? Okay.
I hope that answers that question. I feel like I've just gone off on one, but I can understand basically how some people would think if we were forcing our children to do things every day, but the way we do it, I don't think it would have an effect on their mental health. Yeah, the girls are arguing. Apologies if you can hear the girls shouting in the background. How do you blog out negative comments about you and your family? I love your family. Thank you so much. This is a question we get asked daily, pretty much, and it's always the same answer. You don't look for negative comments. If you're ignorant to the comments, they don't affect you. If you don't know they're there, they don't affect you.
Interesting take, Sarah. Interesting. As you well know, I have done an entire video on you responding to hate comments on your videos, so I'm not sure where you're getting your thought process from on this occasion.
Never ever ever look for anything that might be said negatively about you, because it will affect you. Like I'm telling you, it will. You can be the strongest person in the world, but you read something that sucks about you, and it's going to affect you in a way.
Okay, I'm confused just a smidge here, because according to your 17-year-old daughter, you and her sit around the dinner table and laugh at these hate comments. People send you hate comments, you laugh about it together. She even sends it around her WhatsApp groups or whatever, right? So that's not really ignoring it, and that's not letting it affect you. It's just, I don't know. Which is it, Sarah?
So just don't look for negative comments. Avoid them at all costs. Obviously, because we monitor our own social media. So there is times when I'll go into my inbox or my inbox requests, and they're usually so lovely, and I can read 10 that are really lovely, and then I'll get one that says, "You're a mum." And I'm like, oh, that's lovely. And I'll just delete and block, and I won't rise to it. And 9 times out of 10, I'm like, what an idiot. But then sometimes the ones that affect me the most are the lie ones. So the ones that are a lie or an assumption that's untrue, but spoken like it's real. Like, they really annoy me, because I've been brought up to stick up for myself. And so if I read something that's...
Yep, you've been brought up in the right spirit, certainly, Sarah. You were brought up on Seacroft, hence the nickname, Seacroft Sarah. Nobody's gonna get one over you. Nobody's gonna get one over on you, and people are not going to take you down. Nope.
A lie about me, I want to say, what are you talking about? That's not true. What on earth are you lying for? Like, that's a lie. But that's not what you should do. And I struggle with that sometimes. I do struggle with that. Like, whenever I stick up for myself on my own social media, my inbox every single time is crazy. It's so full of support. Yes, Sarah, you tell them. Stick up for yourself. Oh my gosh, yes. And then there's like, amongst the hundreds, 1 or 2 saying, you really shouldn't rise to it. Don't let them get to you. And I'm like, oh my gosh, I actually wish I didn't now. Because it's true. You shouldn't rise to it. All they're expecting is a reaction. All they want is a reaction. And I know deep down that I should ignore it. I know I should. But sometimes it's really difficult when you feel like you're completely being spoken about in an unjustifiable way. And that's the ones that hurt me the most. I don't care when people give an opinion on me, like, you're a shit mum. I don't care if you think I'm a shit mum. I know I'm a good mum. I know I am. So those opinions don't matter. But it's when people say things like, it's so sad that you're depriving your children of an education. Because my girls get a better education than they would do if they were at school. I don't care what anyone says. They get a better education at home than they would be getting if they were in school. They learn more with me at home. They are comfortable with me at home. They do more work with me at home. And they take more in and learn more with me at home, along with their tutors as well.
Wow. Just wow. Professor Sarah. Yep. Professor Ingham. Professor Sarah Ingham. Wow. She is ready to take on the world. In fact, I would employ you in a second, Sarah, to be a school teacher. I would, honestly. I don't know, like, how do they learn from you, though? I mean, you don't teach good morals. You don't teach good work ethic. You don't teach sociability. You don't teach good academics. What do you teach them that is good, that is positive, that they can take on into later life? Just what? Exactly, I don't get it. Honestly, I don't get it. No hate, honestly.
So comments like, and they're ignorant as well. They're from people that don't understand homeschooling. So those comments really annoy me. Or comments like, it's so sad that Isabel has no friends. Isabel's out all the time with friends. You can't say that you see Isabel every single day in our vlogs, because you don't, because she's often out. She's often out. In fact, she's got an amazing personal life right now. She's got some exciting things going on in her personal life. She's got a good group of friends, and well, I'm not saying anything else because it's not my place to say.
It's not your place to say. Well, perhaps you shouldn't say then, Sarah. If it's not your place to say, you've kind of left a little tidbit of information there because you wanted that out there. If you didn't want that out there, you would have cut that out in editing, right? So This is where you can't help yourself. It shouldn't be out there, but you put it out there anyway. You may not have said what it is exactly, but you've now got people speculating, so well done.
But she's very, very happy right now in her personal life. That's all I'm saying. So those type of comments, just because they're so unjustifiable, do hurt a little bit. Not hurt, that's not the right word. They do irritate. They make me want to bite back. They're ignorant, yeah, but it makes me want to say, you're like, what? Why are you? Ugh. It makes me frustrated. What was the question? So that's how I block out negative comments. I just don't look for them. We actually got given a very good piece of advice from a very big YouTuber when we were a much smaller channel.
Was it Zoella? I bet it was Zoella, wasn't it, Sarah? This a very big YouTuber. I bet it was Zoella. In fact, I can almost guarantee it was. I'm almost certain I remember you saying something about this before. That's funny.
And that was to never, ever look for negative comments. And never, ever, ever, never seek them out, basically. Don't entertain them. Don't look for them, because basically what I've just said. And so we took on that advice, didn't we? And we never have done.
Awkward. Why is it then that you watched my video the other day? I don't get it. You never seek out negativity about why did you even bother? I don't know. Chris, obviously, he knows that he watches my videos on the daily, so I don't get it. It's very confusing for me, sorry.
So that's basically how we deal with it.
Because when you don't look for it,
you're never there, yeah. If you don't look for it, you don't know it. And the best way to not know it is to not see it. So that's definitely the best way to deal with it. Vlogmas plans, and are we getting a Christmas Vlogmas intro this year? Babe, let's be honest about this intro. This Vlogmas intro.
Well, actually,
it's been a nightmare.
Just like the proofs have just come through. They look really good. So.
Oh, okay.
So
it's been hard this year, and it's our fault because we left it a bit late. Basically, to get this Vlogmas intro, it's not just a quick. Can you make me one up and I'll pay you a tenner? They actually cost close to £1,000 to get made.
Well, I could make you one for a tenner. Only joking. I'd charge you 50 quid, but. Why don't you just do it yourself? Seriously? Chris has the editing skills. Just do one yourself.
And not only that, but they take how long? Like 6-8 weeks?
A long time, yeah.
It takes 6 to 8 weeks. And we just kept putting it off this year, didn't we? We weren't even putting it off. We weren't putting off doing it. We were just like, yeah, we need to get that sorted this week. But we just had so much else going on that we just never got round to sitting down and brainstorming a creative idea, because we went from just having our creator who does them for us doing us a general one to us wanting to decide what it was and to have our own touch on it. So like when we introduced the van and the car blowing up that year, we wanted to have creative control over it. And this year, nothing major. Like we had Mila born one year, we had the van trip the other year, we had the car blowing up the other year. And because we couldn't, the house move, but because nothing major had happened this year, we were a bit like, what are we going to do this year?
No, nothing major had happened. Nothing disastrous.
Nothing disastrous or nothing. No, it is nothing major. Like we didn't buy a new house, or we didn't get a new car, or we didn't buy a new van, or the van didn't blow up, or anything big that could make a funny. Nothing new to introduce. That's what I mean. So it just took us a while to brainstorm an idea, and then by the time we did brainstorm an idea, it was like it's a bit too late now, guys. I'm afraid to start doing that. So we've got an idea now. We're working with them at the minute. We've just got the proofs through today.
Yeah.
So it will be up on December 1st. And hopefully you guys will love it. With regards to actual Vlogmas, we actually sat down last night and booked a few things. You alright, Izzy? Yeah. We've got a really exciting December. It's pretty booked up already, isn't it? I think we've only got like...
We've got like 2 or 3 days free.
We've only got like a few days free now in December, because I really wanted this December to be cram-packed of happy, fun, festive madness.
And does this happy, fun, festive madness include the aforementioned full-time education that you were bragging about that's so productive for you?
So Vlogmas this year is definitely going to be a good one. Did you celebrate Christmas at home pre-YouTube? I do understand that things were different financially. Okay, number one, yes, we did always celebrate Christmas at home before YouTube. But actually, we've been doing YouTube for 7 years now, and in the last 10 years, we've actually spent 7 of those at home. I think everyone always presumes that we're always away at Christmas.
I think that's because you spent like a few years in a row, like going away, and you were so desperate to get away the other year when you couldn't because restrictions stopped you going, and you were absolutely gutted not being able to get out even though you just come back from a long trip and everything like that. You know, you just seem like you always want to be away from your house, so I guess people pick up on that. I'm not sure.
But we've only ever had 3 Christmases away from home, have we not?
Yeah, 3.
3 Christmases and that's it.
Yeah.
We've only ever done Christmas away from home 3 times in the last, well, forever, ever. What have you smashed?
Nothing, but all the coppers got on a phone. There must have been fake scam ones, because they're destroyed.
Oh, me and Chris went in the hot tub last night with some mulled wine. It was so lovely.
Oh,
With Christmas songs on. Isabel and Esme watched Milo and Jace. Me and Chris got in the hot tub. We had Christmas music on and mulled wine. And it's put the mulled wine mugs, metal ones, in the dishwasher, and it's rubbed off all the copper colour.
I'm going to buy some new there.
You're not buying new ones.
No,
they still work the same.
No.
Anyway. So yeah, we did spend it at home, and I actually loved spending Christmas at home, and I never wanted to go on holiday for Christmas. I never wanted Christmas away from home because I didn't feel like it would feel like a Christmas. I felt like it would feel like a holiday, but I was so wrong. Christmas at Forest Holidays is completely magical and amazing, and I love it. And we almost booked it this year. I wasn't fully on board. It was over £3,000. Was that for a week or 5 nights? 4 nights?
That's for a week.
1 week?
Yeah.
Well, still crazy price. Chris was like, no, it's usually me that's tight. No, it's usually you that's tight, sorry. But Chris was like, yeah, but don't you think it'd just be magical? We didn't get to it last year, and we didn't get to it either before, did we?
Well, the first year we didn't do it is because we got locked down. So
we were locked down. We booked it, but we were in lockdown then, so we had to cancel it.
We got refunded for that.
We got refunded.
And last year, we just decided to have it here because it was a new house.
Yeah, last year we wanted it at home as well. Yeah, last year I wanted it at home. It was my new house, and I didn't want to, like, I wanted my first Christmas in my new house. And then this year, because of the price, I was just being tight. I was just like, it's just such a lot of money. And I just don't feel like people would appreciate, well, not that we do things for people anyway, but I don't know, I felt like it was right to do it at home this year. Anyway, it sold out, so we're doing it at home.
No, it wasn't sold out.
It wasn't until Chris
and I was like, right, I'm booking it, and I'm doing it.
And I was like, no, you're not. I was in the bath upstairs. I was like, no, you're not doing it. We need to talk about it some more.
Yeah,
and then he was on the phone, like, what? It's sold out.
Like, it was a playful no. It wasn't like, no. It was like, no, don't do it. Just absolve me of the responsibility and do it. But don't tell me you're doing it.
It wasn't.
But then it was sold out.
But then I was like shouting down, no, babe, we need to talk. And then she went, oh, no. And then Chris went, oh, no, it's gone. It was available last night. And then he went, oh, no way. And I was like, oh, they've sold out.
So I rang them.
But I think that's the right decision anyway, because it's such stupid money it would pay for the whole of Christmas just for a few nights somewhere else.
It would be really magical.
Chris is still gutted. He lives for the moment, and he's all about, like, you know, who knows what'll happen next Christmas? Who knows if we'll still be blooming here next Christmas? You never know what's going to happen. You can't ever take a day for granted. So he's all about living in the moment, and I'm all about, yeah, but we've got a hot tub outside and our twinkly Christmas light. And how nice was it last night?
Yeah, it was nice.
It was lovely. So we're staying at home for Christmas. I've just took 3 minutes answering that question. It should have been a 10-second thing.
We're staying at home in December, but we are staying.
Chris is saying you need to specify that we're staying at home for Christmas Day, but that doesn't mean we're at home all of December.
No. Wait.
Oh, okay, that's enough. Okay, as Izzy's getting older, how do you feel about the impending girls' holidays abroad, nights out, etc.? I can't wait. I think everyone always presumes that I'm this overprotective mum that, like, wants to wrap Isabel up, and actually that's Chris. He's struggled more lately with the things Isabel's been out doing than I have. And I don't mean struggled in a respect that is like, she can't do this, but have you heard from Isabel yet? Is she okay? You know, constantly worrying. I think that's probably normal for a dad. But I honestly can't wait. I think it'll be so good for her. I can't wait for her to start college. I can't wait for her to get a group of, like, college friends.
Can't wait for her to get a group of friends or college friends. Sarah, almost dropping yourself in it there. Well, did drop yourself in it there, but what can you do?
And start going out more. Even though she goes out now, I mean, like, proper, like, going out. Chris is like, she's only 17. I'm like, mate, I was in nightclubs at 17.
Yeah, but we were wrong.
And Chris is like, yeah, but everything I say, everything like Isabel says, I was like, but I was doing that at her age. He's like, yeah, but we were wrong to do that.
Babe, I was doing stuff at 14 that I should never have been doing.
Exactly.
My parents would die.
Exactly.
If they knew about.
It's like...
So we're lucky right now, but it doesn't make it right. Well, we didn't. It wasn't right at all.
Yeah, I honestly can't wait for her. I'm really excited for her. Another question was about her driving. Yes, Isabella's she hasn't taken driving lessons yet, but we have sent off for a provisional licence. I don't know if there's some sort of delay on those coming back because it's been ages. But I'm really excited for her to get her own car so that we don't have to drive her around everywhere. Why are you laughing?
I'm not.
Chris is not. He's nervous, but I think she'll be great.
That fool ain't ready for the world yet. No, she's not.
She's so ready. Isabel, yeah, bless her. But I'm really excited. I can't wait. I'm really, really, really excited that for her to have a car and get that and get her own freedom and to be able to go off and do what she wants and get out of her bedroom. Because Isabel's a home girl, isn't she? She's definitely a home girl. That's what I mean. Isabel's a home girl, and it worries me sometimes that. And I shouldn't worry, I should be grateful because I'm sure they'll just flick a switch and she'll be off all the time and I'll be thinking, I wish she were back in her bedroom.
Exactly.
I know that, so I am treasuring it and cherishing it and not pushing her too much. But I do have to push her sometimes too. Oh, legs dead. I've gone such a bad angle. I do have to push her sometimes to get out of her comfort zone and go do things. She's going to this...
You have to push her out of her bedroom, basically. But you've just said that she has an amazing social life and she's always out and you always worry about when she's coming back and everything like that. But you just said that she's always in her bedroom, so I don't know. I don't know what to believe, okay?
Concerts next week, is it?
Yeah.
She's going to a concert with a friend next week that she's like, I might not go. And I'm like, no, you are going. You're going to have the best time, Isabel. And I know it's just because she's nervous, so...
It's a proper, like...
It's a proper mosh concert.
It's a proper mosh gig.
Yeah.
It's going to be well good.
It's going to be... She's going to have the best time. And I know that when she goes and comes home, she's just going to be so hyped, isn't she? She's going to have had the best time and she's going to be so happy. So yeah. I'm really excited for Isabel. It's a really exciting part. Do you think it's a really exciting stage in her life? Like just becoming like 17, 18 and... Yeah, I can't wait. What are you most looking forward to for Christmas time? Family cosy times, games nights, Christmas morning stockings. I absolutely love doing stockings on our bed. It's one of my favourite times. Christmas Eve, my favourite days, and Christmas days out. I absolutely love Christmas days and trips out. They're my favourite at this time of year. This one's for you, babe. Why is Chris touching your hair constantly lately? It's so cringy. I love how, like, a man and wife showing any sort of contact or affection is cringy.
I personally don't see anything wrong with it. A man and a wife, as you said, showing affection, that's fine. As long as you don't get, full on making babies on screen, I think you're fine, right? No problem at all.
Chris has always been a touchy person, so he likes to be very close. I'm the opposite, aren't I? I'm the opposite because I don't know if it's like the way I was brought up or what, but I am quite happy to just sit on my own. Chris likes to sit. I'm like a cat. I want love when I want love, but otherwise get off me. I am very much like that, but Chris is the opposite. He's very like he would literally sit hugging all day long. Or like when we're watching movies, like, he'll be like hugging and like want to hold hands. I'm like, no, get off my hand, I'm too hot, get off me. So he always settles for, bless him, like either I'll put my legs over him and he'll just tickle my legs because it's just so relaxing. He'll rub my feet or he'll play with my hair because I like the feel of people pulling my hair at the bottom like that. It feels so nice in your head.
I think the reason why you don't like Chris touching you is the reason why most women don't like him touching them. It's just, just the vibe that he gives off. I'm just saying, okay? Just the vibe.
So Chris has... Tingly, yeah. Chris has always done that our whole 16-year relationship. In fact, you do that like every single night until I fall asleep. Makes us sound like the cringiest couple ever, doesn't it?
That's why I've got like a massive bicep on one arm and not on the other.
That's why he's got a super strong turbo arm. He's got one of his most turbo arms because he does just literally pull my hair and tickle my back till I fall asleep every single night.
Interesting that he gives you ticklebacks because this also happened in earlier vlogs.
Where's she at? In her sloth cave. Roll over then, because I promised you a tickleback. You've got 5 minutes. Let's do it.
How different would your life be if you never started YouTube? Would you have had Mila and Jace? I have always said that the biggest gift you guys have given me is Mila and Jace.
Oh no, you didn't just say that, did you? The big... Oh my word. Ifam, what have you done? You're actually thanking the Ifam for giving you 2 babies. Have you any idea, A, how stupid that is, but B, how ridiculously inappropriate that is to suggest that your Ifam, who are mainly children, have managed to give you the life you deserve to enable you to have those kids, those 2 babies that you couldn't otherwise have had. I cannot believe you said that at all.
Because we would not have been in a position to have any more children had we not started and taken off on YouTube. Mainly for the cost. We'd finished at Isla because of the cost. And I'm not talking about like the nappies and the clothes.
So yeah, you're admitting that basically the babies have enabled you to buy this massive house. And it's like you still cannot see what our problem is. The fact that you're actually sitting there and saying that having babies, having YouTube has enabled you to have further babies because it's given you more money. Having YouTube has given you the money to have more babies. I can't try and swing this any other way. That's the exact thing that you're saying here and admitting to. It's just you still can't see a problem.
Talking about cars, we'd have had when you go from 3 to 4 children, it's the logistics of like cars and bedrooms. Our house was not big enough for 4 children. We had a 3-bedroom house, but one of those rooms was a box room, and so if it had been a boy, which actually Jace was, he would have obviously taken over that room, but then that would have meant that Isabel, as a 17, 18-year-old, would be sharing with a 10, Isla, who's 10, 11. And I don't know, it just, and so I feel like we wouldn't have had more children, would we?
You're really not selling it to me, Sarah. He's not making it sound any better the more that you witter on about it. No, you wouldn't have had more kids because A, you couldn't afford it. B, when you had your children, you had your babies, the vlogs that came with those babies paid for themselves. So how many different... Oh, Jesus Christ.
Oh my gosh, that's so annoying. Yeah, so the biggest gift that we ever got from YouTube is Mila and Jace, because we were in a position to buy a better car.
Honestly, I can't wait for 20 years down the line when Mila and Jace are old enough to understand what you've just said. And they look back for the memories. Don't forget, they look back for the memories and they see and they hear that they were born because YouTube. Just no.
With more seats, we were able to buy a new house with bigger rooms, more bedrooms, and you did want more children. I wanted more children as well, but I was content with the 3 girls. But I'm so thankful that we got Jace and Mila. And then the most asked question on this whole thing is literally, when are you having another baby? It is literally the most asked question. And I hate answering this question because I have eyes burning into the side of my face right now. And there's actually people asking, like, I've got 5 and I'm considering 6 because I don't like odd numbers, which is literally playing on my...
Yeah, exactly.
How
far you can
I'm happy. What?
90, 10?
Every single day for about 10 months, maybe 12, maybe a year, Chris has asked for another baby. Now, I've never known a man to be as broody as what Chris is. Like, I know that men obviously crave babies and want babies, but Chris sits up on a night researching prams for a baby that I'm not even pregnant with.
I'm sorry. I can't stop laughing. I love that you've described Chris as a broody man. Chris sits up every night researching prams. Yeah, there's nothing effeminate about that, is there at all?
He literally... What you do pulling that face for?
I'm not pulling her face.
He literally wakes me up on the morning, he's like, good morning, and I'm like...
convince you of all the positives that you can... Look at this new pram you can get, love. Look at this new thing you can get.
He's like, you can buy as many clothes as you want. Look at this changing bag I found last night. Like, he is... I have never known somebody become so obsessed with having it. Like, I don't even feel like I've ever been as obsessed as you are right now.
It's because he sees the figures, Sarah, and I don't mean yours. He sees the numbers that are associated with birth vlogs, the figures that go up, the stats, the analytics. Yes, he sees them. He sees the revenue that's made, and he knows that that is a way, the only way of making any sort of money on YouTube these days. It needs to be something big. So, pull your finger out now. Do your job.
Like, it consumes your whole day.
It's because, right?
It genuinely consumes his life.
Yeah, because, well, number one, for a few reasons. Basically, I think that an older 3, Isabella Esmeralda, and a younger 3 is so freaking cute.
You can't have a baby because you think that's...
No, it's not that. Basically, my thinking is that I really want Jace and Mila to have another playmate, so the trio, Esme, Isabel and Isla, are perfect, and they've been amazing, and I really want Jace and Mila to have that too. Not only that, but I would part of me would love to try one last time. I wouldn't want any more than one more, but one last time.
Yes, you say that. Look, no, be honest with yourself. I know you're saying that, but if I was down and I was like, should we just go to 10? What would you say?
I would say yeah, definitely. Only because
I would never.
Listen, I'm not because I'm irresponsible, but because we can afford it and we've got the room. That's the only reason I would do that, right? That's the reason I would do that. But the main thing that I really want one more is because I either would love to give Jace a brother, try to, and if that didn't happen, then it would be magical to give Mila a sister, because by the time...
She's got 3.
No, yes, but by the time Mila is old enough to play and interact with them in that way, Isla will be the youngest and she will be too old to care. Isla
just said to me this morning, Mum, you do realise that when Mila's 5, I'll be 14.
Yeah, and Isla won't care about hanging out with Mila who's 5. Like, I mean,
will.
Of course she will. She'll be lovely to her, like Isabel is now, right? But in reality, Mila will not have anyone that's close to her age to be like girly with, and I'd love to be able to give Mila a sister so she could have someone to be girly with when she grows up.
I find that quite selfish, actually, and not for the reasons you think. You want somebody for Mila to be girly with when she grows up, but like, what about Jace? He's currently one of the... Well, he's the only boy, and there are 4 girls. So what, you want to have 5 girls and 1 boy? That's not really fair on him now, is it? I mean, come on. What is it with the girls? Everyone wants girly girls. Sarah is obsessed with girly stuff and girly toys for Mila. Was never that bothered about boy toys for Jace. Was more interested in getting girls' toys for Jace. And this is not a gender argument. This is just facts. This is what has happened. Chris is obsessed with having girly girls. What is that all about?
The same way the older 3 have had, or I would just literally die to be able to give Jace a brother. So it's win-win for me. If it's a boy...
Okay, but how about this though? How about when we get that boy, and we've got the boy, and we're like, oh my gosh, Jace is going to have a brother, and then you're like, yeah, no, but Jace has got a brother now, Mila's not got a sister.
Well, if you're down, then I'll do that.
No, but I won't be down. That's the point.
That's the point. Now, I would not like. I'd be completely content at that point with 6. Like an even number. I like the even number as well. And I'm also not ready to not see any babies in this house. Like I love the baby stage, and Mila's at that stage now. That's my favourite stage, and I'm not ready to say goodbye to that.
Yeah, not coming across any better there, Chris. You love the baby stage, do you? Well, what happened to Jace's baby stage? You didn't tend to bond with him whatsoever during his baby stage. You still don't seem like you've bonded with him at all. So what happened there? Is that why you just need to keep trying and trying again to make sure that you get that baby stage that you dreamt of? I mean, Mila was a bit of a pain, right? Because she was like always in trouble. She had some issues from the moment she was born, you know, with her hip and her, you know, hospitals and everything. It was good for a quick buck, but long term, not worth it. Let's try again. Maybe we can get the perfect child this time.
I know, but don't you feel like a lot of parents feel like that?
Yeah, of course.
Like all parents don't want to give up the baby stage.
Yeah, of course.
But then they do, and they eventually grow.
Yeah, there's lots of reasons why people also do stop having babies for financial reasons or lifestyle reasons. But we have no excuse as far as that goes right now. We're financially stable. We've got the room. We've got.
No, Chris, you've got that the wrong way around. It's the baby that makes you financially stable. So the baby pays for themselves. You know that, don't you? How many thousands you get over the lifetime of your baby being born from pregnancy vlogs and pregnancy reveal, gender reveals, all the baby updates and everything, and then the birth vlog, and then all the hospital visits afterwards. It's a huge money spinner, of which you know, and that's why the baby pays for themselves.
The lifestyle that is perfect for having another baby. So that's why, I don't know.
What do you mean? Like home? We're all at home?
Yeah, we're home all the time, and we can do it. You know, we're good to go. So that's why. And you're young enough.
This is the discussions we have daily, by the way. I don't know why this has turned into a discussion between me and you. It's supposed to be a Q&A.
I just don't want people to think I'm a weirdo, just constantly wanting you to get pregnant. It's not that. I want...
Chris, we don't think you're a weirdo for constantly wanting babies, okay? I'm only joking, right? Plenty of men want babies after babies after babies. Just think of your friend, Noel Radford. How many babies has he had? 23?
I really want to give Mila and Jace the same experience that all the three have had. Or even more special, because if Jace had a brother, it'd just be magical. And right now as well, they're at the perfect age where the age gap would be good.
Yeah, this is the thing with Chris as well. It's like right now. Like right this minute now. We need a baby now.
Because you can't. If you leave it any longer though, the age gap between Jace and a boy, baby boy if it was a boy, would start to get a little bit bigger. Right now it'd be perfect. And the same with Mila. If it was right now, the age gap would be perfect. So... I don't know. For me, it's like a no-brainer. If you were down, I'd be like, let's do it right now.
And if I'm not down, then you're just going to grind me until I'm down.
We joke, but, you know, if you don't want babies, then you don't want babies. You don't want any more. You don't want any more. And Chris can, well, just let him go, Sarah. Let him go find somebody else to have a baby with. That's a good solution, I think.
I'm only joking. I don't want anybody to start even like hating on Chris as well, because he does have this discussion with me every single day. But he doesn't.
But Sarah's open to the discussion.
It's not like. Well, you kind of are.
She's open to it, and she smiles and she laughs.
No, I laugh because you're funny. It makes me laugh, and I think it's funny. But and I never know how to answer, because it's not that I don't want to have another baby.
Right. Put it this way. Right.
It's just that
I've said to Sarah this right. If I could give you a baby right now, a newborn baby that was biologically
if you could.
What the hell? Chris, did you honestly just say, if I could give you a baby right now that's biologically mine and yours? Why did you say it like that exactly? I
guarantee it would be a twins, one girl, one boy. That would be so perfect, and I'd be like, okay.
Yeah, but if I could give you a baby now and you just had to miss the pregnancy stage and the labour, you'd go for it, right? So we've got this, man. We can get through.
If the baby was there,
yeah,
but it's not.
But
And he keeps saying that, and it's like, we can go through it. And I'm like, yeah, but we're not going through it. I'm going through it. I have sickness that I've got to try and hide on the vlogs.
You don't have to hide it. It's cool. That's all.
I've got the blooming, all the, you know, the labour and
yeah, but guess who's here?
the sleepless nights and the breastfeeding.
Who doesn't have to leave to go to work, etc., etc. Who can be here to support you full time?
Hear that, Sarah? You've got this. Chris does not need to leave to go to work. Of course he doesn't. He don't work, does he? Does not work. This vlog is your job. Your job only. So who's going to take over the job? Isabel. That's the one. Isabel will take over the vlogs, and you can just relax with Chris and have your babies.
Exactly. Me. So
So that's the answer to that. Chris really would like another one, and I keep saying to him, Isla was the last you said, and then you said Jace was the last, and then you said Mila was the last, and then in flipping a year, 18 months time, you'll be saying just one more. This one's going to be the last,
Sarah
and it'll
also, just as FYI, Sarah is also tracking her ovulation, so you know.
To avoid it.
Yeah, whatever.
To avoid it. You know that's the truth. He knows that's the truth. He knows that's the truth. I actually am tracking ovulation to avoid it. And we have been doing that for flipping 6 months, so I don't know why you're lying. Trying to convince yourself. But that's the situation on that.
Wow. Absolutely wow. So we are finally finished with that. I hope you've really enjoyed it. And I am going to say thank you so much. If you've managed to watch the entire video, thank you so much. I'm going to test you, right? I'm going to test you if you've watched the entire video or not, because I think that if you're at the end here, you've skipped. Because who the hell wants to listen to it? Firstly, Sarah, rabbit on for that time. And secondly, listen to me rabbit on for that time. Honestly, I don't think it's possible. So for getting to this stage, I'm going to reward 2 of you with a gift. I have 2 £25 Amazon vouchers to give away to 2 lucky winners who've got to the end here. So this is the only place I'm mentioning it. So what you have to do to be in with a chance of winning, this is the best part, this will test whether you were paying attention. Within the video, I thought I would play a game, and the game was a sum. It's a very easy sum, but at various segments, 5 points during the video, I put in the top corner a sum, and if you add or take away or whatever it is, the 5 amounts, it'll equal the amount that is the answer, right? So if you can figure out the answer to the sum within the video, comment down below your answer, and 2 lucky winners, which will be drawn at the end of this week, will win £25 each, drawn at random, and no debate will be entered into. What, you know, the regular rules of competitions stuff, right? So if you're up for that, give it a go. Nothing to lose, and potentially £25 again at this time of year. Brilliant idea, and you'll have a lovely Christmas. So everybody, please take care, and I'll see you again soon in another video. Take care, and bye bye.